All right, and welcome back to the forecast card. Again, unfortunately, red day, just because of the unit sizing that I had today. My three favorite plays all don't come through, and then I go 7-on-1 in my quarter unit plays. I don't know what to say. Just really frustrating to lose when you read most of the games on the slate correctly. Just yeah, especially some of those White Sox first five, Angels first five. I felt like were pretty sharp bets. But anyway, let's get into the recap. Twins Guardians first five over. Man, I don't even know what happened in this game. Uh, like two bad pitchers, two decent offenses, weather blowing out. They just couldn't get anything going. Not a ton of strikeouts, just balls in play. Uh, but unfortunately, they are all just pop ups. It is what it is, I guess. Rays first five money line. Man, the Rays just fucking suck. Like I really thought they'd bounce back after losing two in a row on the doubleheader, but they came out completely shitty again. Yeah, they end up losing this game 8-2. They lost the first five 4-1. Uh, yeah, I guess the Royals bats maybe are starting to heat up a little bit. Not an auto fade like they were for the first couple weeks. Rangers first five again, another team that just has no offense right now. They got 0 runs this entire game. They had 3 hits against a pitcher they should have had a phenomenal matchup against. I don't know, man. Like sometimes it just frustrates me. Cubs money line, obviously that one comes through. Uh, they completely dominate the Pirates. Reds money line also comes through. They completely shit on the Cardinals 9-1. D-backs Mets under 8. Got a little bit sweaty down the line after the first bit was pretty easy, but luckily 4-2 in the end. That was pretty easy. Red Sox first five money line. They ended up winning this game 8-0 over the Brewers. Could have taken the full game. Could have taken the run line. Could have laddered it for insane money, but obviously it just hit the first five money line, which ends up coming through as they win the first half 4-0. Nats Phillies over. Almost had a bit of a miracle with some kind of overtime. Uh, but yeah, just one of those games. Again, 15 left on base, 9 hits for the Phillies, 6 for the Nationals. Brandon Lord gave up 6 hits. Taiwan Walker gave up 4. Could have had runs, just wasn't enough home runs in this game like I was really hoping for. Quite frankly, there were 0 home runs, so that kind of sucked. Red Sox at Jays under 8.5. Pretty sweat free again. Ends up being 4-2. Again, 0 runs in the first 4 innings. Jays end up basically walking it off at the bottom of the eighth. Angels first five money line. This one ended up being much sharper considering they ended up losing this game outright 10-4. Their bullpen just completely implodes, but they win the first half 4-2, which was nice. And Rockies Giants under 7. That ends up coming through pretty safely as well with a 4-3 win. Got a little bit sweaty after the first five. There was, I think, 5 runs in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. But thank God the Giants' bats just were not hitting today. But yeah, 7-4. Fortunately, minus 0.45 units. But moving forward, I'm just going to do half a unit on every bet. It just seems like the confident bets aren't hitting at the rate that they should be for me to keep betting more on them. So I'm just going to be betting on the entire slate at half a unit unless I really, really, really like something or I really, really hate something, then maybe I'll drop to a quarter unit. All right, moving on to the first game of the day at 6:10 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the Nationals heading on the road to play the Reds. The Nationals, again, they used almost all of their really good bullpen arms. And again, they have statistically the worst bullpen in baseball, and they used their only half decent bullpen arms yesterday in their matchup against the Phillies that they won 4-2. So now they're going to be up against the Reds team that's starting to get some hits at home. Again, I've been trying to avoid them at home, but finally they look like they had a decent day. 9 hits at home, a couple home runs. Maybe they're feeling a little bit better. And now with their ace on the mound, maybe they're going to get some hits. Mitchell Parker, he's been a fine pitcher. 3-1, 2.65 ERA. But again, historically, he regresses a lot on the road. He hasn't really done that so far this year, but he has in 2024. He has in 2023. I think he's due to start getting into some trouble on the road. Again, his 2 road games this year have been against Miami and Pittsburgh. Not very good offenses. They're going to be up. Obviously, the Reds' offense not necessarily elite either, but to me, it just means that he's not really hasn't really played any really good competition to really test how bad he is on the road. Hunter Green, obviously very elite. Nationals have been decently good against the righties, but again, I just think the bullpens for the Reds is much more rested, and the Nats have again the worst bullpen in baseball. They're going to be playing a bunch of no-name pitchers that I think are going to have some struggles. So I think the Reds pulled this through at home. So I'll be on the Reds run line at plus 120 for half a unit. Moving on to the next game, we have the Pirates at home versus the Padres. Now I looked at a few ways to play this game. Obviously, Cease is a pretty good pitcher, and the Padres, on paper, have the better offense. But they've been really, really bad, especially since losing Jackson Merrill. Like their offense is a shell of what it was. And again, Padres, if you look at them on home versus away splits, they are much more of a home team than a road team. Over the last 2 weeks, as a road team versus righties, they've been a bottom five offense. Um, bottom five just in general against righties. On the year, they've fallen pretty far from how well they started. From like a top five offense to barely above average. So again, I think Mitch Keller hasn't really had too many really good home starts like he normally does. Historically, he's been a really good home pitcher. I think he gets back to that. He's had 4 home games against some pretty good offenses: Cleveland, Yankees, Nationals, Cardinals. Again, he just seems to kind of get unlucky. I think if he can avoid the walks, I think he'll be fine. I think he's gonna probably be able to get his strike rate up here against a Padres team that's been striking out a pretty high clip. So Louis Reyes is back. It's kind of concerning, but again, Dylan Cease has not looked great this year, especially on the road. He has 11 ERA on the road over 9 innings pitched. Obviously, both road games he played the Athletics and Astros, but he got completely lit up in those games. And the Pirates' offense has maybe turned a corner. Over the last 2 weeks, they've been really good against right-handed pitching. Top 10 in baseball. In WRC plus. Yeah, I think perhaps they've turned a corner. Who knows? But I think the value here lies with the Pirates. So I'll be on the Pirates first 5 money line here at plus 110. All right, moving on to game number 3, we have the Diamondbacks heading on the road to play the Phillies. Now, again, on paper, uh, you know, my model actually has this as a really, really tight game. But again, that's why probably I'm not going to end up taking the run line for the Phillies. I'll probably take the Phillies on the money line at minus 140. But again, Merrill Kelly, I don't think is good. He's 36. Jesus Luzardo is still young, 27, in his prime, and he's having a really, really good start this year, especially at home, where he has a 1.86 ERA. Even on the road, 1.6 ERA. He's been really good, and he's played some decent bats as well. He's played the Nationals, Dodgers, Braves, Giants, Cubs. And he's had pretty solid starts against all of them. His worst start has been against the Giants, where he gave up 3 hits, um, 5 hits, sorry, and 3 earned runs. Again, it was just kind of bad luck of the timing of when the hits kind of came. So I think he's really, really, really good. And again, Diamondbacks versus lefties over the last 5 games, they've been actually pretty bad. Bottom 5 offense, only 56 plate appearances, but they kind of do struggle against lefties compared to righties. I would say their offense in general, 102 plate appearances, bottom 10, just in general the last 2 weeks. If you go all the way for the whole year, again, they're still below average, only 80 WRC plus versus left-handed pitching. So I think Phillies find success. I think they're going to have their bullpen has talent. I think they're just pitching really, really poorly. I think they're going to bounce back. Merrill Kelly, again, I don't think he's really that good. He's had a couple stinkers this game. He got lit up by the Yankees. His strikeouts are down. Again, his walks have been improved, but there still has the ability to easily lose the zone. And this year he has a 6.646 ERA on the road. I think the Phillies win this game to start off this road trip. I think we're getting a really good price here with the better pitcher and the better lineup. So give me the Phillies money line here for half a unit at minus 140. All right, moving on to game number 4, we have the Royals heading on the road to play the Orioles. Now, it seems like maybe this Royals team is finally starting to get their bats going. Compared to last year, they've had a really bad start. They were basically the worst offense in baseball for like a 2-week period. But it seems like they finally perhaps have turned the corner. And again, Dean Kremer is not a phenomenal pitcher. Michael Wacha is a decent pitcher. But again, the Orioles, if you look at their WRC plus numbers, on the year, they're still the number 1 team against right-handed pitching at home. Over the last 14 days, they're top 3 at home versus righties. Top 6 in general, top 5 in general, home versus away total. They've just been hitting righties at a really, really, really solid clip. Like they're getting a ton of solid contact, and I think they're going to start getting a ton of runs in these games. On the other side, obviously the Royals have not been good against righties on the whole year, but they've been a top 15 above average team over the last 2 weeks. I think they are turning a corner, and Dean Kremer is a pitcher that historically they haven't been uh, bad against. 66 at bats, they've gotten 17 hits, a batting average of .258, OPS of over .800. I think we see hits here. It's going to obviously be at Camden Yards, Oriole Park. Weather's going to be blowing out. Ballpark Pal has us at 13% runs. I think we see a lot of runs this game. Royals bullpen's been good, but I think they used some of their better arms yesterday. So I'm going to be on the over in this game, over 9 at -120 for half a unit. All right, moving on to game number 5. This was one where I kind of want to take the Rays just because of the value. And Ryan Pepiot hasn't really been. Again, he's historically been a really good road pitcher, and I think he's kind of due to have a really good start. But again, Yankees at home with their ace on the mound and Max Fried. A part of me wants to take the Rays, but again, over the last 2 weeks, they've been a bottom 5 offense against lefties on the road. On the year, they've been the worst team, only 64 plate appearances, but on the road versus lefties, the worst team in baseball, 43 WRC plus. Yeah, they're just struggling against lefties, especially on the road. On the year, in general, 317 plate appearances, bottom 5 offense. On the other side, we have the Yankees, again, top 5 versus righties on the year, top 5 in the last 2 weeks. They're still hitting righties at a really good rate. And I do think that Pepiot is currently a worse pitcher than Max Fried. Max Fried, elite pitcher, 5-0 on the year. Pepiot's been good on the road, but I think he's going to get lit up here against, again, a Yankees team at home that just has the ability to light you up. They already did once this year. They're going to be, I think typically it's better for the hitters when they're used to a pitcher than a pitcher used to the hitter. So I think Fried has a great game. I think Pepiot gets hit up a bit. And again, Ray's bullpen is quite rested. They didn't use a lot of their good arms yesterday. It's my only kind of concern. But again, Yankees bullpen fully rested as well. I think they have get to an early lead here against Pepiot. And Max Fried probably goes 6 to 7 innings. So I'm going to be on the Yankees run line at +100. I don't hate the Rays at +180, but I just how badly they've been hitting the ball, I refuse to bet them. So it's Yankees run line or nothing for me at half a unit. All right, moving on to the next game, we have the Guardians heading on the road to play the Jays. Now the Jays offense is really starting to get their home runs going. The addition of Varsho back in the lineup really seems to be, I guess, motivating this team. Varsho in like 3 games already has 2 home runs. And Logan Allen has kind of had a problem with lefties. So, some of these lefties on the Jays are some of the better hitting players. You got Jimenez, who was hot in the beginning. He's kind of cooled off. Santander probably is going to be switch hitting on the right side. But, again, Chris Bassett's been really, really good at home. He had 1 bad game in his last start. I think he's going to bounce back here at home. He just played 2 road starts. Gave up 4 earned runs in both of those. But previously in his last 2 home games, he's given up only 1 earned run, 17 strikeouts. I think we get a better version of him today. And on the other side, obviously Logan Allen doesn't look bad this year. 1.2, pretty average ERA. But again, I don't think he's very good. He's given up 9 hits in his last game against Boston, 5 hits, 2 hits, 4 hits, 7 hits, strikeouts. Most strikeouts he's gotten is 6. I think he's a significantly worse pitcher. He's been walking a ton of people, and historically, he has been a better pitcher on the road, but he still had last year a 5 ERA on the road. So I think we're getting the better pitcher here with the better lineup, which if you look at the Jays at home versus lefties this year, they're top 3 offense, 151 WRC plus. I think they're going to find success here, while the Guardians on the road versus righties haven't necessarily been as good, just barely above average. So I'm going to be on the Jays first half run line at -120 here. I think the Jays get to Logan Allen. I think Chris Bassett has a really good start here against a Guardians team that's going to be traveling. So, this is going to be half unit as well. All right, moving on to the next game, we have the Twins heading on the road to play the Red Sox. Part of me really wanted to take the Twins in this game because they have been really, really good against righties this year, and I think Joe Ryan is a better pitcher than Brayan Bello. But again, Red Sox at home, Fenway Park, wind blowing out. Expected to be a ton of runs in this game. Um, Again, I think it has to be an over here. The line is still over 8.5 at -125. What I'm seeing. Again, overs have not been doing me well, but the Red Sox versus righties have been top 10 offense this year. Over the last 14 days, second best team against right-handed pitching. Obviously, that's been a little bit worse at home, where they're kind of looking just slightly above average this year. But again, I think their bats are really starting to get going. Bregman's been looking really good. Devers is looking good. Jaron Duran's looking good. Wilyer Abreu's having one of his best starts. Even at the end of the lineup, they've been hitting the ball. On the other side of the Twins, they kind of had a bit of a stinker game, but their offense is starting to get healthy again. They have some elite. Ryan Jeffers is back in the lineup. Harrison Bader is kind of finishing off in a cleanup spot. I kind of like the over here. I do think both these pitchers are good. But again, Joe Ryan historically has been much worse on the road. And despite the fact that Brayan Bello has been decent at home this year, he's usually a pretty standard pitcher on both sides of the ball. And I'm not a big fan of either of these bullpens in their current state. So, yeah, wind blowing out, Fenway Park, I feel like it's just an easy over for me. If I had to pick a side, it would be the Twins at -105, but I'll be on the over in this game for half a unit. All right, hang on to the next game. Again, I don't really know. There's no line for this game yet, but I would probably be on the Athletics if it is Hoagland versus Belozo. I don't know anything about Gunnar Hoagland, but Belozo sucks, and the Athletics team is pretty good against righties. So it'd be Athletics or nothing, but no line for me, so no bet here. Moving on to the next game, we have the Dodgers heading on the road to play the Braves. Now, I was kind of looking at this game where I kind of want to take the Braves. Like, when I manually modeled this game, I was like, Braves at home versus righties have been really good, and the Dodgers on the road versus righties have been really bad. And Grant Holmes is not a bad pitcher, but I have this model that like a 2.8 win for the Dodgers. And typically when I'm missing something, there's probably some kind of matchup with the way that Grant Holmes pitches that is really bad against his Dodgers lineup. So, again, if I would model this manually, the Braves have been a top 10 offense against righties. Again, on the year, they've been a top 6 offense against righties at home. And while the Dodgers have been really bad on the road versus righties, 18th best WRC plus, below average. So it makes sense to take the Braves here, but I'll probably end up taking a shot on the Braves tomorrow. I think the other Japanese pitcher, the name's escaping me, Sasaki or whatever. I think he's much worse. He's struggling a little bit. And the Braves, I think we're just going to have Schwell and Bach. So I think if the Dodgers completely blow them out here, we're going to have a really good line on the Braves money line tomorrow. But yeah, Yamamoto is very good. He's kind of the truth. Grant Holmes has been really good, especially at home. But again, something this model sees is that the Dodgers lineup is going to light up Grant Holmes and that bullpen. So I'm going to be on the Dodgers run line. But if you do like the Braves money line, I won't fault you. I want plus 145. It's probably the value, but yeah, I'll be on the Dodgers here at half a unit. All right, moving on to the next game, we have the Astros heading on the road to play the White Sox. Yeah, this is a weird one for me. Again, this is another one where the model actually has a kind of close game. The Astros have just been so bad against righties. I don't know why, but again, on the full year, in general, they're 22nd best offense against righties. On the road against righties, they're a bottom 4 offense. In the last 14 days, they've been a bottom 2 offense on the road versus righties. For some reason, they just cannot hit right-handed pitching. They've been really, really bad against them. On the other side, obviously, the White Sox had a pretty decent game today. But again, they're still a bottom 5 offense in almost every single regard. They've been okay against lefties lately, but on the season, they're still a bottom 5. So I don't know if they've completely passed, all of a sudden they're a good lineup. But I think Framber Valdez is an elite pitcher. I think Cannon sucks, but the Astros cannot hit righties, especially on the road. And again, this is going to be, a game played in the White Sox Stadium where runs are kind of a bit more of a premium. So I'm going to be on the under 7.5 here at -105. if I had to take a side, it would probably just be Astros run line because the White Sox just kind of I think used up a lot of the runs yesterday. But I don't like the price at minus 130 to back a team that can't hit righties. So yeah, it'll be under 7.5 here at half unit for me. All right, moving on to the next game, we have the Mariners heading on the road to play the Rangers. Now, the Rangers have looked terrible. I think that goes without saying. And a part of me wants to take the Rangers here because this line makes no sense to me. But again, Brian Wu, again, hasn't been a very good pitcher on the road. Historically, that's been a bit of a struggle, which is why I think this line is what it is. But Jack Leiter, yes, he's been good this year, but I don't think he magically became an elite pitcher. He's only pitched 13 innings, and he's played again the Reds at home, who've been really bad, the Red Sox on the road, who've been pretty bad, and the Giants at home, who again have been pretty bad. He's pitched his last game. He gave up 4 walks, only 3 strikeouts. I just don't think he's that good. He only went 3 innings in that game, despite only giving up 2 earned runs. I think he's just not a guy that can go far, and the Rangers bullpen's kind of taxed. So, if you look at his stats since 2023 at home, he has an 8.72 ERA. I don't think he's necessarily immediately gotten better, despite his 2-0 record. And if you look at the stats, just straight up, this Mariners team versus righties, again, top 3 offense on the entire year, number 1 offense over the last 2 weeks. They've been smacking the hell out of righties. That just seems to be their thing. Obviously, they typically do play a lot of their games at home, where their stats are completely deflated because it's such a pitcher's ballpark. But I think they're going to get to Jack Leiter. I think Brian Wu is the better pitcher here. I think the Mariners have the better bullpen. And again, the Mariners, they love to go on the road where they're not playing in that godforsaken stadium. So I'm going to be on Mariners money line here for half a unit at minus 120. All right, moving on to the next game, we have the Cubs heading on the road to play the Brews. Now, again, part of me wants to take Brewers money line, but I think Quinn Priester is playing way too well. Again, Ben Brown has been getting completely lit up, especially at home this year. He's been pretty good on the road. Even last year, he was a much better road pitcher. Um, 48 innings pitched, 3.5 ERA on the road, 5.57 at home. Again, I think he's better than what his stats are showing. He's kind of gotten lit up, but he's gotten lit up by some good offenses. He's played the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, the Padres, the Athletics, the Dodgers. Like, he's only had to play against insane offenses. So I think his stats are looking a lot worse than they really are. Meanwhile, Quinn Priester, again, he's played, I think, worse offenses. He's played Colorado. He's played Detroit at home. Again, Detroit on the road is a much worse team. He's played the Giants at home. Again, a team that plays much worse at home. It's a pitcher's ballpark. And then he played the Cardinals, where he got completely lit up. 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks. I think that is more of what the typical Quinn Priester that I'm used to. And yeah, he still is not giving up an earned run at home. He's only pitched 5 innings. Last year he had since 2023 he had a 6.6 ERA at home. Low K rate, high walk rate, high home run rate, 4-4 on the year. I think he's much, much worse than Ben Brown. The Cubs, again, on the road versus righties, have been kind of a wagon. Top 3 offense on the year. Over the last 2 weeks, second best offense. Meanwhile, the Brewers at home, bottom 3 offense versus righties on the year. Bottom 10 offense versus righties. So it's got to be Cubs or nothing for me. But I'll be on the Cubs money line here at minus 115. I do think they also have the better bullpen. All right, moving on to the next game, we have the Mets versus the Cardinals. Again, the line is kind of stinky because I do think the Mets are the way better team. They have, I don't know, the Cardinals have kind of looked rough. But that being said, the Cardinals may be in a revenge spot. The Mets swept the Cardinals in their own stadium. Maybe they're going to want to return the favor, which I can see. That being said, Clay Holmes has looked incredible, especially on the road. He's been really, really good in his career. He's 32, and since 2023, 81 innings pitched, 2.5 ERA on the road. This year, sub 2 ERA on the road. He's just looking really, really good. Again, he's played some bad offenses, so I'm not really sure how insane he is. But on the other side, Sonny Gray, he's been getting hit up lately. Mets, Milwaukee gave up 6 hits, 7 hits, 3 walks, 1 hit walk. His K rate is definitely down. Historically, he's been a really good home pitcher. That's kind of been his thing. But I'm not sure we've seen that yet. Historically, if you look at the data, Sonny Gray has gotten lit up from this Mets team. 99 at bats. He's given up 29 hits, an OPS of .913. He's got 20 strikeouts, but 13 walks. Seems like this Mets lineup kind of has his number. Like we're getting the better pitcher, the better offense right now. Um, Again, if you look at the road versus righties, Mets top 10 offense on the year, top 5 of the last 2 weeks. Um, Compare that to this Cardinals team at home versus righties. They've been okay, but again, over the last 2 weeks, they've been a bottom 10 offense versus righties. And on the year, yeah, they've been top 10. But again, they have not been up to that standard lately. So I think Clay Holmes is the better pitcher. Mets have the way better bullpen. Sonny Gray is a great home pitcher, 3-0, but I think he takes an L here, where the Mets just seem to find ways to win these games. So I'm going to be on the Mets money line for half unit at -120. All right, heading on to the next game, we have the Tigers heading on the road to play the Angels. Now, the Angels just kind of got embarrassed. They were winning for most of that game, and the Tigers went on a complete rampage on their bullpen, which, again, I think happens again. They used some of their better bullpen arms and got lit up. Um, Tigers, again, used a couple of their good arms, but they still have a way better bullpen. If you look at the stats, just away versus righties, Detroit hasn't been insane over the year. They've been above average offense, just barely around that 100 mark. But over the last 2 weeks, they've been a top 5 offense versus righties on the road at 132 WRC plus. Meanwhile, this Angels team at home versus lefties, second worst offense over the last 2 weeks, worst offense at home versus lefties on the entire year. So obviously, we're getting the Cy Young winner last year. He's been insane. He's obviously a bit worse on the road, but he's still an incredible pitcher up against a lineup that can't hit lefties. And Soriano, I think I have him highly rated in my model, but he's been getting lit up lately. He played the Texas, kind of terrible offense. He went 5 innings, gave up 10 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, only 2 strikeouts. Then he went out, played Pittsburgh, gave up 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks in only 3 innings pitched. And then he played the Twins, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs, walked. So his Ks are down, his walks are up, he's getting lit up. And again, he's been really bad at home so far this year. 10.38 ERA, 0-2 on the year. I think the Tigers completely destroyed them with their ace on the mound here. And the fact that we're getting them at +100 seems like a really good price for the road team here. We're going to get the top of the 9th as well to hopefully get that run line. So, yeah, this is going to be probably my favorite game of the day. Tigers run line at +100 for half a unit. All right, and that brings us to our final game of the day. We have the Rockies heading on the road to play the Giants. Now, part of me wants to take the under again because these offenses have been ice cold. But I think the Giants are just going to be in a phenomenal revenge spot here. They just got completely embarrassed against the Rockies, losing 4-3 at home against, on paper, the worst offense in baseball, especially on the road. It's very not often that you can bet on the Rockies and win when they're not playing at home. So the Giants on the year have not been great against right-handed pitching. Bottom 10 on the season at home versus righties over the last 2 weeks. Again, also bottom 10, just below average. But that being said, the Rockies, again, worst offense in baseball on the year, on the road versus righties, bottom 5 on the last 5 days. On the road versus lefties. Robbie Ray is 3-0. He's been looking really good, especially playing at home where it's definitely more of a pitcher's ballpark than where he has played in his previous careers, particularly when he played in Toronto. But yeah, he's looked really good. 2.5 ERA at home, 1-0. His walks are up, his Ks are down. You could argue maybe he's due to get lit up, but he seems to find ways to get out of really tough spots. And his biggest kryptonite is lefties, which the Rockies really only have one of, which is Ryan McMahon, who is a good guy, but he's also someone that chases a ton. On the other side, we got Senzatella, one of my favorite guys to fade. He's terrible. In his last 6 games, he's given up 9 hits, 10 hits, 8 hits, 9 hits, 6 hits, 8 hits. Yet somehow his earned runs are not crazy, but this guy is due for a complete stinker. He's getting out of these situations, but I just don't believe in him. I think the Giants get to them, especially in this revenge spot. He's been really good on the road. since 2023. That's kind of been his thing, which is kind of why I like the under here. But again, um, even in his road starts, he's gotten really lucky to not have given up more runs. His 3 road starts, he has 9 hits, 10 hits, 9 hits, but it's only given up 4 earned runs in all of those games combined. That's just ridiculous. So his whip is going to eventually bite him in the ass. Having a 2 whip is just not sustainable. So I'll get the better pitcher at home in a revenge spot. I think the Giants completely crushed the Rockies today. So I'll be on the Giants run line for half a unit at -110. All right, and that's everything for today. We'll see if I end up betting the Athletics game. Probably not. I already have a ton of bets out. And these, again, there's not like there's a day game. This is going to be like rapid fire. Every game is going to start within a 4-hour period. So it's going to be pretty hectic for this kind of slate. But I'm probably only going to bet the Athletics if the pitchings don't change. But yeah, hopefully you have a good day. Kind of glad to go back to the half unit bets, so I'm not just kind of sweating the 1 unit bets that I've been getting absolutely toasted lately. I think we're due for a really good day, and I genuinely love this slate. Like I could see myself going 15-0. Probably not going to happen. I'll probably end up losing because that's baseball, but I love all of these spots. I think there's a lot of good pitching matchups and hitting matchups today, especially on the first game of new series. I typically love this where these, teams haven't necessarily seen each other yet. So, yeah, give me a good day today. Absolutely. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers.